Hi, I'm Michael and welcome to Tamenuri studio after another very long break. And today I will be talking about brushes. So not just those beautiful Japanese hake brushes, but also those Western type synthetic cheap brushes, and I will discuss them in detail. So let's go. Brushes. As you can see, it's quite a lot of different types of brushes I use, and they range from very basic ones like those here up to top top brushes by best Japanese makers, made of human hair, selected human hair in a very traditional way. I will go through all of them and will tell you where to buy them, which are worth buying at the beginning, how to take care of them, and I hope it will be a basic compendium on brushes in urushi. Don't mind the cat, he's going around and meowing here and demanding my attention, but won't get it for now. Go away, Cooper. Okay. Let me start with basic and most affordable and easiest to buy brushes. So the Western artist brushes you can obviously use with urushi. Do not buy natural natural hair brushes for urushi. Find brushes which are for oil paints, not for water-based paints. Natural hair in Western brushes is usually very thin, and it will not be resistant enough to be used with urushi, and I do not recommend them at all. There are several different types and makers. I use both German makers, like one here, it's Kum. You can easily buy them online in Europe. I hope also in the United States. I also use some British Winsor & Newton, Polish company, Renaissance, and this is a Japanese brush, but very basic one, easy to buy in any shop. And again, Renaissance here, but a different kind. All of them are synthetic brushes, and they differ in shape, size, and the stiffness of the bristles, and also the length of the bristles. The best and the most universal brush for urushi is flat, and I'm talking mostly about urushi on fountain pens, but not necessarily just this. It's a flat brush with quite short hair, so not with the very long bristles, and it's called by artists usually bright. This type of brush, so short, flat brush is bright. Do not take long handles. I sometimes buy a brush with a long handle and cut it down to much shorter length to be more manageable, because when you're operating with a brush close to your face, it's easy to put the end of the brush in your eye. So don't buy long handles, and if you do and have no other choice, just chop them off. For fountain pens, you will usually use brushes between 5 millimeters to 12 millimeters width, but sometimes wider ones are used too. And I use brushes from pretty soft ones like this one. This one is smaller than those 6 millimeters because you have to sometimes lacquer narrower areas around the trim or near the threads. So it's very useful there, even much thinner than this one here. And this one is quite soft, so does not have a lot of springiness in these bristles, and this one is much harder and much more. This flexibility is more like difficult to say, but you have to try it, and it works much better with a urushi on a larger surface. Those two are my basic base layer and middle layer brushes, and one is a little, those are the same series, but this one is flat rounded and this one is flat flat. The color of the bristles is influenced by pigment in urushi, and you will, after 1 or 2 uses, you will not clean it out for sure. It's impossible. This one is round brush, very soft and very short and very thin, and I use it for details. And those two here are even much harder than the previous I showed you. I use them for threads, for Tamenuri, and for very thick urushi in some of the techniques. And as you can see, there are a lot of different sizes. And this is, I think this is the biggest, the widest brush I use. Most of them are between, I'd say, between like €1 and maybe 10. Something like that. You will buy most of the good quality synthetic brushes in Europe in this price range. Step up are brushes developed for urushi. They are still Western style brushes and with synthetic hair, but developed with urushi in mind. And this one is a Holbein brush with very nice transparent handle. And this is a series N500H, and H is for very short hair. And this brush is pretty popular amongst urushi artists, and there are several different widths. I have like 15 of them right now, and difficult to buy in Europe, but you can look for it. It's resable, so it's a synthetic brush, but developed in a way to remind sable hair. I like this brush very much, and those brushes, those Western brushes, have one thing in common. They do not last long way. You will destroy them very quickly because you have to clean them. You have to, the urushi is aggressive itself, turpentine is aggressive, so they are, well, like 5-time uses on them, depending on the type of layer, on the type of urushi, and your cleaning procedure. So my initial cleaning procedure was quite aggressive, and now I changed it, and more often than before, I do not clean the brush totally. So I treat them very similarly to Japanese brushes, so I clean them from urushi with a oil, with rapeseed oil, then clean them with turpentine until it leaves no significant residue color on a paper or a test board. And then again I soak them in oil, in rapeseed oil, and wrap in saran foil. Do not use just simple cooking cling film for this because it breathes. So what is the problem with this cling film, that it must be non-breathable type. So only the saran type foil is useful for urushi. It prevents the traces of urushi in the brush from solidifying. So this is the way I treat the brush, and then before use I rinse it off in turpentine and use it for the same color I used the previous time, not to worry about the contamination because it's just a little bit of pigment there, no real problem. Okay, so another step up from Holbein brushes, and we are in Japan. And those here are one of the best brushes I have ever used for final layers and for maki-e. This one is a mixture of cat and squirrel hair or sable hair, I'm not sure, or rabbit hair, and this one is pure cat hair. And a disclaimer, I don't know if any cat was harmed in the process. I hope it did not. They're in several different widths. They're much more expensive than those ones. It's usually around between 2 and 4, maybe 5,000 yen, and available only in Japan for my knowledge. Those two were bought from Watanabe Shoten, and it's one of the best places to start your journey with urushi. To be frank, I do not buy a lot from them right now, but during my first year, 90% of stuff I was buying from Watanabe. And going further, it's a sidekick from those brushes, because two brushes here, I have much more of them, are for maki-e, but I also use them for some details and touch-ups in other techniques. So this one is ultra thin. It's extremely thin. I can put like a 0.2 millimeters line with it if I'm careful. And this one is slightly thicker, but its length can be regulated with this cord, and I can pull part of the bristles inside the body of the brush and make it more suitable for a use I have in mind. So the brush can be disassembled completely and washed, cleaned with a rapeseed oil and rebuilt pretty fast. And for cleaning those brushes, I use something like this. It's a plastic spatula, rounded, very delicate for the bristles of the brush. I just push the oil away from the brushes, from the bristles. So those are the special types of brushes. And let's go to hake. So the brush which brings the more interest usually, but it's not just one type of brush, because, well, I have at least 7 types of hake brushes right now, and they have very different uses. Those two are simple kiradashi hake. So they have the hair inside and somewhere here. As you can see, I keep them in saran foil too, and have them marked with what type urushi was used with this brush before. They are in different widths, and the most convenient width for urushi on fountain pens is something around 5 bu. So it's a Japanese size, and it's 1 bu, and I find it the most convenient and easy to use on pens. I sometimes use wider brushes, maybe not on pens, but on many other stuff, on knives and on larger boards. And definitely narrower brushes like this one here, much better quality than those kiradashi, so very simple. Kiradashi hake are sold prepared for immediate use, so they are sharpened, and they can be sharpened later easily, maybe not easily, you have to learn how to do this, and several different knives are handy for sharpening, because it's quite a delicate job. I will show it in one of the future videos. Usually higher quality brushes come unsharpened, so they are still stiff. The bristles here are not prepared for use, and you have to prepare them. So cut those pieces of wood out, soften the brush, shape the head according to your needs, and then soften the hair and prepare them for use. The brushes differ in size, but for example, this one is 5 bu, 4 bu, 4.5 or 5, 6, and this one is 6, 2, and 2, and 4 as far as I remember. But also in type. For example, those two look pretty similar, but this one is much thicker than this. But this one is one of the last brushes made by Mr. Tanaka, who is the master of brush making, of hake making. And this brush is very different. I did not prepare it yet. I received it recently. And it's human hair in the middle, in a sandwich of 2 layers of horsehair. And this makes this brush very delicate at the tips, but much stiffer. So it's very useful for thick final layer urushi and for some difficult areas, not only on the pens. As you can see, those better brushes are often the hair go through the whole length of the brush. So such brush can be sharpened very many times, and this one will probably last me a lifetime. Will last forever. Those were sharpened several times, some of those too, but this one is not prepared yet, but I know it will last a lifetime. And another type is a brush, those two are the brush for Tamenuri and for techniques which require the brush to leave the brush marks intentionally. So it's much stiffer, it's not human hair, it's horse hair. Horsetail, or I'm not sure, but it's a horsehair, much stiffer. You can shape it, you can make the front surface not even on purpose, and it's very good with sticky, thickened urushi you use for hakeme nuri. Some are shorter and they are very convenient in working with pens, especially as you keep the pen pretty close to your face sometimes, and it's very convenient to have a shorter brush. And this one was made by a company which is run by a girl, a woman who is a student of Mr. Tanaka, and I hope, I have not used it yet, but I hope it will be as good quality as some of the basic Mr. Tanaka works, because it's a basic brush from them. This is it. I think I made a video on cleaning brushes, but I think I will reshoot it because I learned a lot during the last year from the time I made the video. But one thing you need to have definitely if you are using brushes for urushi is spatula, or several different spatulas to clean the brush. You need a tool like this to clean the smaller brushes and more delicate brushes, and several containers with turpentine and with rapeseed oil, plus saran foil. And I had real problem finding saran foil in Europe. Because I usually bought Japanese one like this one, but now I could not find it easily online, even on Amazon. It was impossible to find it in reasonable quantities, like 1 or 2 rolls. So recently I found something in a professional supplier shop for chefs, for people working in professional kitchens, and it's made in France as far as I know, and it should be easy to find. It's saran wrap or something like that. So that's it. I hope you will find it useful. I'm glad I'm back. I will not make any big announcements about future videos, but I'm shooting several today, and I hope it will be a little bit more regular than until now. Thank you, and bye.